All right, we are live. What is going on, everybody? Gomez is still awake. Everybody's here. I'm really excited. Tonight's guest is an icon in the reptile world. I can't even just say ball python world, because I actually think that Brian has double the amount of species that I do. So it's actually kind of cool to talk to someone that works with so many different animals as well. But made you guys wait, and I think it's time to start the show. So here's Brian Kusko.
What's up, folks? Icon, I don't know. Icons, that's kind of a strong word, man.
It's a strong word, man, but you deserve it. You know, you put a lot of work into everything.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of hardworking folks out there, though.
It's true. It's very true. You're also a machine. I mean, this whole detox, the cleanse that you're doing, and you know, you're behind me, and I wake up to you running. You know,
I'm gonna apologize in advance because it's already been. I pushed myself to the limit, I think, today a little bit, but and I've got more to go. But yeah, I'm halfway through right now. I'm halfway through this one. I think I'm on day 5 of a 10-day. So it's kind of that moment where I'm like, please, just. I apologize if my energy is like seems like it starts going like this. It's because it's been doing it already today. But
I'm sure there's a breaking point at some point. But
well, today was the rare day. We started doing a thing with my wife. I think starting today, this is gonna be the first Friday where we give her time, which she very much deserves, some time on her own, not being mommy. So she's taking that time today. She took it today. She's gone. She just got back actually like 10 minutes ago. So, and I still get my work done with the kids, but it's a little different when she's not here, when I'm trying to get work done while the kids are here.
Oh yeah, man. We're outnumbered in the De Leon residence as well, 3-2. But your kids are younger too, so it's definitely they're more hands-on. They're not really as much autopilot as my 12-year-old is.
Oh yeah, it was fun hands-on stuff. We were going buck wild today for sure. It was just wrestling, and they loved for me to chase them around the driveway on the one wheel, and that's why I'm doing the cleanse stuff. I'm just trying to stay. I want to always be active. I want to be like that old dude that's still like running. You know what I mean? That's what I want to be. I want to be that old dude that's still in the gym, just like pumping iron and like carrying around 100-foot snakes or 100-pound snakes, just like 70 years old. You know what I mean? That's what I want to be doing.
Well, you got the inventory to do it.
Yeah, the snakes are. Yeah, I've definitely got one. My biggest snake. She may be right at that 100-pound mark. I think. I haven't weighed her in quite some time, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's hit that.
That's so awesome. I unfortunately am in New York, where I cannot have a reticulated python.
Is that a statewide thing, or is that just depending on what boroughs you're in, or
no, statewide? You can't have a Burmese python reticulated, any venomous, but you can have an olive python. So it shows who's making the laws. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think that's true of just about anybody that's most people that are making the laws. Where reptiles are concerned, I think the majority of them are not educated on it, and I think a lot of the laws that come to them are coming to them. They're not writing these laws. I've learned this from Phil Goss. They're not the folks that are actually writing the laws. They have lobbyists that have the agendas that come with them and have the reasons, and they don't actually know what it is. They're just like, well, it's the lobbyists writing for them that create the laws. So that's what I think.
Yeah, politics is. I hate politics, so it's all dirty work, I think. But one day, hopefully, I'll live in a state where I can have a reticulated. Because as a rodent breeder, I run into issues where, what do I do with all my retired rats? So I retire on average 150 rats a year.
What's the biggest snake you have over there?
I have one female. Possible super hypo red-tail boa.
That's red-tail boa. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And those won't be taking down big rats like that all the time. That's
I mean, I give her two retired rats every other week. So,
that's pretty often. That's pretty often for a boa, I would think.
Yeah, I'm fattening her up before breeding season. I already put a male in, and I haven't confirmed the latch, but he's trying. So eventually he'll be all food as well. These guys are commenting about my mustache, so.
Oh, I saw you doing that. I thought that was one of those, like, I thought you were giving me the hint, like my upper lip's sweating. So you were a little wipe there. Like, yeah, it probably is. Like, you wipe that thing off a little bit. I thought you were doing the, like, when girls go up and they're like smile at the front. Anything in there?
No. So for, what was it? The prostate, prostate cancer month, No Shave November. This right here is 1 month of not shaving, and this is all I got. I got a little fuzz.
Oh, yeah? I got you beat, dude. This is 17 years of not shaving right here. So.
I'm like trying. I did a thing on my story, should I grow a Fu Manchu? And I had like 30 responses, and only one person said no. So
I wouldn't vote no on that. I mean, with your facial structure and a name like Chino, I feel like that would just go in real well, man.
Yeah, the Chino alias. I've been getting called Chino for most of my life. So I've always worked in kitchens. So since I'm half Filipino, and automatically when people see my eyes, they're like, "Oh, Chino!" It's just been given to me, so I just kind of stuck with it. And then now I'm like, fuck it, I'll stay as Chino,
I know what it's like to be half Filipino.
You're half Filipino?
Yeah. Your
mother's Filipino?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Way?
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, half. How's it go? It's so weird on the StreamYard. So half American, half Filipino.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah, my father's Filipino. That's what's it's. Usually Filipino women steer away from, like every half a flip. I still haven't met someone that their father's Filipino and their mother's another race.
I know some people.
You're in California, so you're like, I think there's more Filipinos in Cali than in the Philippines.
Well, my mom has I think there's more people in the United States of many nationalities than there are in the original countries where the nationality comes from.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, no, my mother had 4 brothers, so, and most of them, well, half of them had children, so with Caucasian women. So there's 2.
Nice. So you got a lot of cousins that look like me.
Yeah. You know what? You look a lot like you do look like one of my cousins.
I got the signature Filipino shaped head. The mango shaped head is what I like to refer to it as.
I got a pretty round head. At least last time I shaved. I haven't shaved my head since I was like 17, but last time I shaved it was pretty round.
I can't believe you shaved the rock star hair.
Dude, it was the best thing I've done for myself recently, I would say, other than getting back into shape a bit. I never realized how much it was getting in the way of everything. It was really getting in the way.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. I have so many health conditions, and being a fat bastard, which I like to refer to myself as, is a big part of it.
Yeah, that can. I mean, one of the ones that I'm gonna upload a video tomorrow on the channel. I was diagnosed with something. It was actually a while back, and my wife just found out about it recently because I don't talk about things like that, and apparently even to my wife. Maybe at the time I was diagnosed, there was a lot of other things going on, and I didn't really think about it too much. But it comes up every now and then, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, "Oh, that must be what it is." So that's one of the reasons I'm trying to cut as much. Not that I have as much extra weight as you do, as you call yourself fat bastard, which I don't think you should call yourself, because then you're just gonna like make that your reality forever. You should start calling yourself skinny bastard. That's what you start calling yourself.
I need to start focusing because.
Well, that's why I'm doing it, because the condition that the disease or whatever that I was diagnosed with, the extra weight makes it worse. So I'm trying to cut.
I have a feeling I know exactly what you're talking about, because I was diagnosed with that with something in that category. I don't want to blow up your video tomorrow, but I will watch it.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm not saying what it is, because I'm
Yeah.
waiting for the video. I think the title of the video, I'm going to call it I have a disease. And it's going to be like one of the, it's going to sound like clickbait. It's going to look like clickbait, but it's not. It's not clickbait.
I've recently learned about clickbait. I've been like blind to it. Gomez Pythons.
Oh, Sal.
Sal, he's
He's out there near you, isn't he?
Yeah, so he's about 4 hours away from me, but he's probably like one of my best friends. We used to do live streams with me almost every Friday, but he's a workaholic, so it just worked out where he wasn't able to make them. But yeah, he talked. We talked. I was telling him like I did my first clickbait video with will the snakes prove out? You know, it was like head to head. Will it prove out? But it didn't hit the algorithm, unfortunately, which is fine. It was a good video regardless.
That's mild clickbait. I think everything is clickbait gets a bad name when the bad clickbait comes in. You know, there's all these different levels of clickbait. I mean, it gets a real bad connotation. It sounds like, oh, you're trying to trick people, which you can. I mean, that's definitely one level of clickbait. But there's the other levels where you're just trying to entice somebody to watch the video. Which why would you not? If you were spending time making videos, you would want people to watch them in a platform that is flooded with literally hundreds of thousands of videos to pick from. You have to have something that stands out that makes somebody actually want to watch your video. Obviously, once they click on it, you want to deliver on what it is you were offering. You know, I've definitely been guilty in a few instances where it was not the worst clickbait possible, where it was like the video was about it, but like you just leave off like one word from the title, and it's like my perfect example is every end of the year, and it's coming up. End of year is coming up, and I'm probably gonna title it my last video, and then of the year. But I'm gonna leave off of the year.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because I don't know, just because it's a habit, I guess at this point, it would be wrong of me to not do that at the end of the year. I've got a tradition going with it.
I see what you're saying. I need to get more creative because I'm very my videos. I think the names are usually based off of my WWF announcer voice. every one of my videos, I start with DMJ Reptiles, and then I say the title. And I've been kind of riding with that since I started the channel 4 years ago, and it's been going well. So I do need to step up my title name. So
it's fun to be creative with that. I'm a fairly creative person, and so it's all this is fun. I'm realizing today that I might be pushing it to that max capacity as far as how much time I have with everything that's going on to create and stay on top of everything that I'm doing, because there's a lot. I was realizing that kind of this morning. Went to go film the next video that the next video that I've already filmed, obviously, one going out tomorrow, otherwise I'd be screwed. But the video coming out after that, I started filming today. And I was just thinking, man, but then that's why the cleanse thing too. I'll tell you, man, if you start going down this road of like trying to achieve physical health, it helps with your mental so much. That's another reason I jumped back on this, because I did this cleanse with my wife about 2 weeks ago, before Thanksgiving. And then after it was done, went 2 weeks, had Thanksgiving. And then I was like, I want to do it again, just because to get to that next level, because the mental clarity and the amount of creativity that comes from it, for me at least, every time I do something like this where I stop overeating, and making my body work extra hard to digest and process and just live, my mind is kind of like set free. And my mind gets the energy that would have been spent working on my body, breaking down food or working with the extra weight. And it's just there. Because I had that feeling when I first woke up, like, I don't even know what I'm going to make a video about. And I like to have an idea of what I'm going to make a video about, even though it's a vlog, even though it's just a channel where it's like, it's supposed to be just about my life and whatever I'm doing, and free flowing like that, which it has, many of the videos are. Sometimes I want to have some point of the video. I want there to be a reason for people to watch it. And I want to know what that reason is before I even film. But when I find myself in that situation like today, and when I'm on the cleanse like this, and I'm feeling a little more mental clarity than I had been earlier this year, I just sat down and I was like, well, what am I going to do? And then as soon as I hit the camera on, that's why I got this other mic over here right now. I sat down with the guitar and was like, what am I going to do? I'm like, let's see, okay, and then it just went. And then once the ball started rolling, it's just like, and like, I think it's gonna be maybe one of my favorite videos I make this month for sure. maybe even this year, just based on everything that kind of piled out of it. And I like that to feel. I like it to feel that way every time I make a video. I hope that every time I make a video, I feel like this is the best video I've made recently, and it's because it feels good. It makes it feel like it's worth it to have put in the effort and work, even though there's so many other things. Like I put out a video almost every day at this point, and then I got once a month we do Search for Reptiles, which takes up some time, and sometimes I feel a bit overwhelmed, but somehow I just do it.
Yeah. I mean, you have between the Brian Kusko channel and then the Triple B. I mean, that's intense. I mean, I do 2 videos a week, Monday and Friday, and I am so far behind. I actually am editing my video till like 4 in the morning every night before. I just never could get ahead, but I can imagine with 2 channels and then the amount of content that you put out. That's a lot of work.
There's like 4 channels. So I Triple B TV, then the vlog channel, then I produce and film and do all the content on the Freedom Breeder channel, and then Searchables Reptiles is only once a month, but it's still, we started doing videos, so it's quite a bit longer. Content is like an hour and a half long video. We already had the podcast when I started putting it on YouTube as well, so people could visually see what was happening. There's some things happening during the podcast. I was like, people need to be able to see this. So there's that as well, and then there's all these other little things that always pop up too. Those are the main things. Those are the things that happen for sure, but there's always things that come in and fill that other time. And then of course, being a dad and trying to be a good father and present for my kids on a regular basis is part of my life as well.
Oh yeah, and you got your princess. You got the baby girl, like we got. We got 2 boys, and then the Jennifer, my monster. She's not a princess anymore. She's a monster. She's looking at me. She's eyeballing me right now, like, yeah, okay, mother.
my girl gets some moments like that too. She has her zombie mode. What's up, sister?
Say hi. You want to say hi to Brian real fast? Come here. Shove your head.
How you doing, sis? You having a good night with your dad?
Yeah.
Awesome.
She's cranky though.
Yeah, I was cranky today too. You could ask my wife. I woke up this morning and it wasn't as clean as I would have liked it to be, and I was doing stuff last night. I was recording Searchables Reptiles last night, and then I worked all day long, and then I come upstairs and they were watching a movie, which is fine. I mean, I'm not, it's fine. They watch a movie, but the house wasn't quite picked up, and then they all went to bed without picking up the house. So I woke up in the morning and picked up the house, and I was a little bit cranky about it. I had to go to my little Fitbit that I started wearing on. There was an option on there that said relax, and I clicked on it. And I was like, yeah, let's do that right now, please.
So you're obviously a musician. You do a lot with music. Is that something that was passed on from the Filipino side of your family?
Well, both my parents played music. My mom maybe a bit more than my dad, but I certainly took my uncle played in a band. He was on the Filipino side. My mother's brother, older brother. He moved back to the Philippines a while ago, but he lived out here for a long time. Went to university up in Humboldt County, and he played in a bluegrass band. I remember, and I was just a little kid, but Growling Old Geezers was the name of their bluegrass band, and he'd go up there and he played the banjo and like sang some of the songs. And there was one time we went to go watch them play, and they were playing in this restaurant somewhere down in Southern California, and it was a cool thing because I got the half Filipino side, and then the other half is like French, Russian, English. My last name is coming from Czechoslovakia, or what used to be Czechoslovakia, the area that used to be Czechoslovakia, and Russia. And at this restaurant, my uncle's band's playing, and he's singing. And then there's this group there from Russia, like a group of Russian guys. I think maybe like a Russian choir group or something, having breakfast at the place they were playing. They were playing bluegrass at it was breakfast. Interesting place to have a live band at a breakfast joint, but they were making it pop in the morning, and I just remember this group standing up, and they like did a musical cultural exchange where like they did some bluegrass for them there, and then those guys stood up and sang some like Russian opera type stuff as a group, or choral type music, and a little blending of both of my cultures right there. My point is that my uncle definitely, he played in a band and stuff. My mom would strum guitar and played piano. She learned piano as a kid, and she still played when I was a kid. And I'd always jump around and dance while she was playing a song that I play now too. And so when I was 7, she signed me up for piano lessons because I wanted to. It wasn't like, you have to do piano lessons. It was like I was clearly like I wanted to play, and so they signed me up for the lessons. And I played for a while and did recitals, and then I played in band in high school and played wind instruments and stuff, and then picked up rock instruments when I was 16. Got a electric guitar from my father. My father rented me an electric guitar because I really wanted one. I had been playing on my mom's old acoustic where you had to like lift weights to fret the strings, learn to play like little riffs there, which was great to go from that to an electric guitar. It's like, whoa, it's like butter.
So much.
But he told me, he said, I'll rent you a guitar for a month, and if you learn to play, he's a huge fan of Joe Satriani. I don't know if you heard Joe Satriani. He's one of those guitar players that taught a lot of other guitar players that made it big. He was like Kirk Hammett's teacher from Metallica. He taught Dweezil Zappa. He taught a whole list of these. He taught Steve Vai, who ended up anyway. He said, if you learn a Satriani song in a month, I'll buy you a guitar. I was like,
oh, that's awesome.
Lock myself in the room, just like, because I was already doing it anyway. And yeah, so that was kind of how music was in the family. But as far as my mom or my dad or anybody else in the family, I definitely took it further because I toured for over a decade professionally with a band.
Oh, that's awesome. I never done it professionally, but like my father, so my everybody in their family was forced to do some sort of martial arts or some sort of self-defense and some sort of instrument. And my mother played the piano, and the viola. But she taught me as well as she could, because she had a stroke, so she only had one hand. And she taught me on the baby grand piano with one hand. And when I got farther than she could teach me, then I actually took lessons by this little Sicilian lady that used to beat me.
What?
Yeah,
that's one way to learn. Play it right.
Oh, she had the ruler. She's, I'm doing chords, and she's, if I missed, she'd be like, again, slap you in the top of your hand. But she taught me so well, and she taught me like old, like Sicilian music that was like very like depressing, but and then a lot of like fast to slow, because I like to play as fast as I can on the piano. But I tried doing guitar. Guitar is more of for fun for me. I would love to get more advanced in the guitar.
Just practice, man. Practice. Music's good for you. Music is I highly recommend that anybody, even if you didn't learn young, it's like one of the best things you can do for your mind almost.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you, because it takes practice and you have to go at it slow. Nobody just picks it up and is just like a virtuoso. It just doesn't, even people that say they're savants and what, they still sat there and they worked at it. Like you don't just, especially something like guitar or even piano, anything, you don't just pick it up and magically you can play it. It doesn't work like that for anybody. And people always talking about, oh, you're talented, or there's this talent, this person has talent. Some people do have, might have other physical abilities, like they can move their fingers a little faster. They have more deftness in their fingers, or there's some biological advantages at play at times. But there's not a single person out there that's a great musician or really great at anything for that matter that didn't work at it, that didn't like bust their butt. Even those savants, they're savants because they basically tune out the rest of the world and that's all they focus on. And that's what it takes. And if you can do that with anything, especially with music, because there's that connection between your mind and your body and those little minor, those small motor skills, I feel like it's just something so great to meld the connection between your mind and your body in a way that can be very enjoyable, not just for you, but for other people at the same time. I mean, it's great. There was nothing like playing a live show and you got the whole freaking crowd just like on the same beat. It's like, that's the greatest energy exchange I've ever had with anybody ever on it. There's nothing that compares to that, period.
Yeah, that sounds incredible. I mean, my closest to that is everyone enjoying me singing karaoke. Because I used to work at a karaoke bar, so that was like my jam, But when I got,
Classic Filipino karaoke.
yeah, I don't line dance though. Do you line dance?
We line dance in middle school. The town I grew up in, like the biggest thing in our town is a rodeo. So we definitely learned line dancing in school, but I didn't do it like recreationally necessarily.
I'm lost at Filipino weddings or sweet 18s. My Filipino family, they don't mess around with the dancing. I mean,
Line dancing.
Yeah, it's like
you're talking like country western line dancing.
It's kind of like not like country, but it's all in lines. It's all
okay, gotcha.
And you see like the great grandmothers breaking it down, and you're like, holy cow! Like,
yeah, I know. Well, I know the kind of line dance you're talking about. They used to do it all the time at Mai Tai bar. There's one song that would come on, everybody like doing the thing. Everybody's in the same dance. I was like, it looks kind of cool. I was like, actually, it's cool, man. It looks cool. Everybody's on a groove. I mean, that's the great thing about music and people, man. You can get everybody on that rhythm, and it's like that little moment of togetherness. If there's anything that could quell the problems between people of the world, if you get everybody on that same little level, music is a big one to help with that. You get a whole freaking stadium full of people just on that same vibe, on that same level. I mean, it's incredible, and it's one of the things that saves the world of people.
And it gives balance. I mean, I lost my mother. It's actually going to be the 5th year she's going to be gone, and on the 9th. So when I think of my mother, I go right to the piano. I go right to that piano.
Did you say 50th year?
No, 5th year that she's been gone.
5th. Okay, 5th.
Yeah, she passed away on the 9th of December. So, when I get overwhelmed, because it happens, just shit happens, and I got to just go to the piano and just start jamming and play till my hands hurt. And then when I'm done, it's kind of like this euphoric feeling where I'm actually more focused on whatever projects is going on.
Do you ever play in any of your videos?
I did have someone record me and post it, and everybody loved it. But I should actually, maybe I'll do an intro with me just ripping on the piano a little bit.
Please.
Yeah, you know what? I got to do a video for Monday, so Monday's video, maybe I'll enter like that. Or I actually, you've done them, these shorts, the YouTube shorts.
Something cruised by my feed, and I just clicked. It looked interesting. It got me with the clickbait. What do you want to call it? Is the one with the thumbnail? It was literally just scrolling through YouTube looking for something. I didn't know what, and I just clicked on it. I was like, oh, that seems interesting. And I'm always liking to try something new and creative, and maybe work towards the algorithm or whatever. And just give it a try, and see how it went. And that's the other thing. That's one of my problems though too. Is like, one more thing to do that I wasn't doing already. Let's give that a try. I completely forgot. I don't even mention that when I'm doing the Kusko's Uncut, Kusko and Cuts, because I say how many videos we do a week. It's 4 now if you can count the short. Because I even put some work. I was like, oh, it's easy, right? And then I ended up doing ones that are edited, and I was like, that's just time. That's extra time putting into this thing, but. The theory with it is that there's a whole separate section, and I guess it started in India. That's already launched in India, where you can actually upload something straight from your device as a short. Like you just upload a short. You've got the options to go live, make a post, upload a video. There's a separate option to upload a short in India, and I guess it's going to be something that happens here. From what I understand, what I've heard, it's like YouTube's answer to TikTok. I don't know. I mean, just as far as having a video of that length, and that's the only thing that, in my opinion, is the same about it. And it's just something to put up there. It goes into a separate section, like when people are looking on their phones in particular. And it's always got to be vertical format, and it has to be less than a minute. And you got to put hashtag shorts, like either in the title or in the description somewhere, is my understanding. And then after about a week, it gets if you have a channel already, I was on the fence about doing it because I already have a channel that does mostly long form content, and it's something really great. Anybody who's watching that has a newer channel, it's definitely something to think about doing, because it's one way to get your channel in front of new audiences or in front of more people through the shorts, because they'll pop up on people's feeds. I've had people even comment on the videos like, "Oh, you popped up in my feed on the shorts feed." It's a specific feed just for shorts on YouTube, and so I figured give it a try. Why not? You know,
I'm gonna do one after this because I was just watching My Animal House and Iron Dog's live stream before we went on, and they were talking about the shorts, saying, he was telling everybody in the audience to pretty much post a short under 58 seconds or less.
Yeah, so because if you post it a little longer, it might bump over the minute when you upload it.
And then they wanted to do like a test if everyone did it and wait a week, and then next Friday see how many views, because Justin apparently he did one. He had like over 500 views on the short. So I'm willing to try anything.
It definitely. I'm gonna go look at it right now, and it worked that way. Like when I first uploaded, that doesn't get as many. It gets less views than most of my videos do. When in the first day that I upload something, but then afterwards, let me look at the very first one I did. Where'd it go? Yeah, it seems like after that week, it does normal, but then sometimes they can take off a little bit. See, I don't know. It's just something. I love little outlets. I mean, it's such a short, that short format. I was like, let's try to be creative. I'm already doing YouTube. I'd made one TikTok video because I watched another one of my favorite YouTubers, and he was talking about the possibilities of TikTok, and I like this guy, and he's a smart dude, and I appreciate all of his content. And I was like, well, I'll go try it. I made one, the only one I ever made. There's that one video out there somewhere on TikTok from me, and never made another one. And because it's a different platform. I like YouTube. YouTube is my favorite platform of all the social media platforms out there. I love it here. There's so much stuff. I've built a great community out here. I've met so many great people through here that have become real life friends, and we have like strong relationships. And it's also where I get a lot of my information. Like if I'm looking for some information on literally anything, like if there's something I'm looking to do, my son asked me to make him a paper boat 2 days ago. I've never made a paper boat in my life. Yeah. I knew exactly what I was going to do to figure it out. And I was like, just go to YouTube. And then in 45 seconds, I knew how to make a paper boat. And I made 3 of them. I made one for each kid right there on the spot. I made the first one with the video, and let's see if I can do without the video. I know how to make a paper boat now. Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah, I'm a graduate from YouTube University, is what I like to say. Because, anything you could think of, it's there.
It's incredible. You can learn anything you want to. There's no excuse to not learn it. I mean, it still amazes me. I'm curious to see what happens going forward with like things like colleges and schools, because especially for people like me who do so much better if I learn something on my own than if I have somebody trying to cram it down my throat, especially if it's something I'm not that interested in. I mean, the schools I think are still really going to be really great for in person. Well, I mean, they're not right now, not for us at least. I don't know how you guys are doing over there, but our schools are not in person. But there's so much information on the internet, and through things like YouTube, you can learn so much. It's overwhelming, I think, for many people. It's overwhelming for me how much stuff there is out there to be able to learn and get into and learn about and experience. It's like so much. It's incredible. We're living in a time where it is just unprecedented how much information is available out there at the flick of a switch, man. You don't have to read a book. You don't have to go find a VHS tape. You don't have to go find anything. It's right there. You just type it into Google. I feel fortunate to be part of the generation like you are and like we are, where we lived before the internet was a thing, before it existed. So we have this idea of what it was like before, when it wasn't. I feel bad for the kids. The kids have a great, but I feel so bad for kids that don't know the world without the internet. I feel bad for them. And it's a great thing. There's definitely some progress that's being made and things that can go forward, but there's that whole downside of kids that don't have the appreciation for how much information and content and period that you have the world at your fingertips, in your pocket. It's incredible. Yeah. We will lose sight of that all the time. We're like, oh, it's destroying society. It's the most powerful thing we've ever had in our human existence to date.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I try to remind myself constantly, and then also remind myself to be like, it's amazing, but so is the outdoors. Take a little break, go outside, breathe, dig my feet in the dirt, swim in the ocean, and freaking go rough it camping for a while to get back to that, to have that appreciation again for it.
Oh yeah. My kids, I only let them play for like 1 hour a day. That's their limit on game time. And we've had scenarios where people bring their kids, and their kids are like, "Okay, where's the PlayStation? Where's the Xbox?" I'm like, "Oh no, we're going outside." And they go outside, and there's like, I have a wrestling mat in my backyard. So like, oh,
Did you say you have a wrestling ring?
I have a wrestling mat. Yeah. So my oldest and my son Junior and my daughter Jennifer actually wrestle, like high school, like wrestling. Jenny's badass, man. She's 6 years old and she kicks the crap out of all the boys. It is hysterical, and she's vicious because she'll grab a kid by their head and slam them into the ground, and then get her 2 points, and then she'll start dancing at the end, and all the other parents are like, they love it. They're like, "Oh my god, that girl just slammed my son on his face, but look how adorable she is." So kids come to my backyard and they're like, "Whoa, what's this wrestling thing?" They have no idea about it, because they're just so used to having a remote in their hand. We do quad riding. We're very outdoorsy, and that's what we like about upstate New York, is that you can pretty much do. You don't have to spend money to have fun. There's so many opportunities to go somewhere and do something.
Yeah, there's so many sticks on the ground and rocks to throw.
Oh yeah, like little joys in life. I think my son was like so baffled that when we were throwing rocks into a frozen lake, and then the sound,
Oh yeah.
percussion sound, and the lake was pretty frozen, so not all the rocks went into the water, and just seeing like his reaction. Oh, Jenny, you can show. Here's her medals.
Oh, nice.
Wrestling tournaments. Yeah.
Oh, she's doing it for real, for real.
Yeah, she wrestles.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, but don't tell my father. Oh my god, he'll kill me. He's like so against the wrestling. And this is a guy that so my father came to America. His boxer was ex-world champion in boxing. He came to New York on vacation. And, I boxed. I never went professional or did anything like that, because once he caught me smoking cigarettes, he was like, "You're done. I'm not training you. You're worthless now." And he just like that, done. Stop training me. But just the thought of his grandbaby doing some sort of form of combat is like horrifying for him. So
it's the previous generation. Women fighting professionally is a new thing. It's pretty new.
Yeah, I mean, his older sister though, she was divorced because of beating up her husband, and she was only 5 feet tall, and her husband was 6 feet tall.
I just found out that both of my great grandfathers were boxers. On my so my dad's grandfather. And both of my dad's grandfathers on his mom's side and his dad's side were both boxers. And I just found out this weekend. I was like, "What?"
Find out. Maybe we're related. See if it's the De Leon family. we got a lot of boxers. My father was pro. My uncle Jackson, he went by baby De Leon. He was the champion in Asia for like 5 years, 6 years. That'd be crazy. Small world, You
yeah.
Never
Oh no, these guys were East Coast, but.
Oh, okay. So we're not related, but that'd be cool because we are both half Filipino. Let's see. What do we got here? I got some questions for you.
I love questions. I'll tell you, I couldn't tell you how much I actually love questions.
All right. Well, any advice to someone like myself that really wants an Eastern indigo snake?
Are you not allowed to have them there?
I don't know what's the thing. I don't know I saw someone post one on Facebook, and they were saying, "Oh, you need permits for it." And I mean, I would go through the details to get the permits.
Yeah, it's just definitely a state by state thing as far as I know. Even me, if I was going to get a indigo from somebody in Arizona, say, there would need to be permits involved. I didn't need to do that because the guy that bred my indigo snakes, which if you do get one and you go through the permit process, I would highly recommend this guy, Robert Bruce. He's basically dedicated his entire keeping to indigo snakes. Like that's his thing, is indigo snakes. He knows the ins and outs of indigo snakes, and he would definitely have the permit to send them across. I don't know what you need to do on your end specifically. You'd have to do the research for yourself in your state. But if you're looking for an indigo snake, man, Robert Bruce is the guy, in my opinion. He knows what he's doing, and they are incredible snakes. One of my advice: get one if you can.
I want one, man. They're so just mesmerizing, you know. Like, what was it? Miguel posted the video that I'm sure he got a lot of flack for with it eating the deformed ball python. I watched that.
I don't know why you would get flack for something like that.
People are just, it's kind of like I just did a feeding video. I did like over 70 feeds in a 12-minute video, feeding hatchling ball pythons. And as soon as I posted it, I lost like 15 subscribers.
Yeah, some people don't like to see certain. Some people are more sensitive than others about certain things.
I did like a long warning and everything. But watching that video of that indigo eating the ball python, I thought was like amazing.
Yeah, I did a video of our African bullfrog eating a stillborn ball python, or it was dead in the egg, and it was incredible. I couldn't believe it. Like that frog eating the snake. It was. I don't think we got any. I don't think there was any flack at all on that one, because it wasn't snake on snake violence or something. I don't know why. That frog can eat the snake, but don't let the snake eat the snake. Oh,
this is ridiculous. I want to get another frog. We always had Pac-Mans, but I'm kind of thinking again a pixie. I just don't know if I have the room, because the pixies are massive animals. But there's something about when a reptile eats a rodent that just catches my attention. So like the Pac-Man frog throwing down mice and rats was always like a big reason for me to always have one.
Well, that's an amphibian though, but you're good.
Amphibian.
I know what you meant. I still am fascinated by everything eating, especially snakes. I've never not been fascinated by it, man. It's I used to take my snakes to school, and we'd do live feedings in front of the science class.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a cool science teacher, and it's just the cool. I'll still sit here and I'll spend an hour filming one of the retics taking out a rabbit, because it takes about that long sometimes, and it's just incredible to me. It's never gotten old. It's just fascinating. It's just I just think like, dang, like I generally, if it's a long chew, I get my bite down in about 15 seconds. That's we're talking like I really spent some time chewing on this piece of thing here. Just to watch something like wolf it down for an hour is like, oh my god, stretch the whole face out over. I tried to imagine like if it was me doing it, it's like all the bones in my face break.
Your whole neck opening.
It's like, oh my god, how insane is this? And it's never gotten old, ever.
I was able to watch Rachel from Red Bottom Pythons. We were on a video chat and she was feeding her pythons, her retics, and it's so incredible. I mean, she was feeding them chickens, and it was amazing how big the freaking chicken was compared to how big the retic's head was. That it could actually, the physics of it, being able to really expand that large to eat such a large prey.
I think pythons are probably the most stretchy of the snake faces out there, especially a retic, and chicken. But then also chickens too. There's so much feather. So like, and then any other, like a rabbit too. There's a bunch of fur. So it's like if you got that thing wet or like plucked it, and there's a lot. It compresses real well.
Oh yeah, we actually breed rabbits, but our rabbits are not for snake consumption. They're for human consumption.
Everything's for somebody's consumption at some point.
Oh yeah. Well, we love I've said it before on a live stream, but I got to tell you this story. So my father, soft the bowl Filipino guy. When you're a kid, you go to the pet store and your parents don't want you to. You're like, oh, Dad, I want this. Mom, I want this. And they're all like, no, no, you can't get this. Well, one day my father's like, hey, Dave, look at the rabbits. And I was like, ooh, I want one. He's like, oh, what if we get two? I said, I want two. What if we get a boy and a girl? So we got a boy and a girl. And so we, John Griffin, some of my porn scene with my mustache. So we got the rabbits. We started with two. And then all of a sudden they started breeding. And then before you know it, we had like this massive cage that had like 8 litters of bunnies in it. Yeah. And so all of a sudden, like, I'd be like, Dad, I'd be like, what happened? There was 4 bunnies in there. And he'd be like, oh, you must have left the cage open last night. One escaped. The raccoons must have got it. So you blame it on me. And I'm thinking that it's my fault. And so dinner time would come around, and we would have chicken stew. And I'd be like, Dad, I want a chicken wing. And he'd be like, oh, no, Dave, this is discount chicken. 4 legs, no wings.
Discount chicken.
So for years, I was eating discount chicken. And then until the one day that I found him slaughtering one of my bunnies. And I run outside. I hear something screaming.
How old were you?
It's probably about like 8 or 9. So this is years and years of eating discount chicken has gone by already. And I'm like, I hear screaming. I run outside. My father, he had this dogwood tree that he would butcher the bunnies on. And I'm like, Dad, what are you doing to the bunny? And he was like, oh, I'm just making discount chicken. that's how the old man introduced the discount chicken, and I kind of passed that on to my children. But I actually told them after we ate discount chicken what it was, and they were like, "Oh, whatever, it was good." My kids love bunny; they go crazy over it.
I don't think I've ever had rabbit. That seems crazy to me. Maybe I didn't over in the UK at some point on one of the things without knowing it, but. Did I? I don't remember. I'll have to ask my wife. She'll remember better if I did or not. I probably liked it. I'm sure I liked it. Filipino, we eat everything.
It's true. But do you eat balut?
Oh yeah, I had balut.
Legit balut? Like
Yeah. I was in the Philippines.
Oh, okay. I've never been there.
I've got a family up in Pangasinan. My mom's got like 60 something first cousins up there, and we went up to the town that my uncle moved back to, and like became my uncle. The one I was talking about that played in the bluegrass band, he moved back when I was 10. He came over here with his family. My mom was born here in the States. She was the first, like all her brothers were born there in the Philippines. They moved here. She was born here in LA. And then he moved back when I was 10 after he'd, grown up here and then he never came back. He was going to go visit and he just went back and then stayed out there. Lives like a king, does cave stuff. Well, I mean, he lives in the village. He could live, I don't know how to describe it exactly. He's not the mayor of the town at all, but he's like on that level or whatever. And I think a lot of people, when he first moved back, there were a lot of women that were trying to, thinking that he was going to go back, like, oh, I want to be with you because you're going to go back to America. And he's like, no, I'm not.
I am staying. I'm ready to pack up and go to the Philippines myself.
Yeah, he does a lot of spelunking out there. If you go that way, you'll have to go meet up with him. He's a great guy to know up there. Like he's friends with the president and stuff, and he does a lot of spelunking. Like goes and navigates caves and like maps out cave systems out there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's a pretty he's like MacGyver, my uncle. I remember he saved a kid out there one day. He built an incubator out of I don't know what and saved this kid's life. That's like his sidekick now, and just stuff like he's always doing stuff like that. There's always little tricks and stuff and little jerry rig, we would call it. He would jerry rig everything. And yeah, I
think that's the Filipino way, though. My father has some Filipino. I call it Filipino engineering. We had our house was like we were like the broke people in the expensive neighborhood. And my father had railings that he made out of PVC, 2-inch PVC pipe. And everyone would be like, why did you have PVC pipe? It was like bright white, not painted. If it broke, he would just grab a coupling, put a new coupling in. It was like all fixed stuff. My brother would crash into it with his Jeep. And I mean, it worked. And I always be like, yeah, that's my father and his Filipino engineering.
We were the opposite. We were like the rich people in the poor neighborhood.
I would have loved that better. That's such a better way of life. I would say.
It could be. I mean, it definitely was nothing glamorous. But I just remember we had a picture. I had some friends over one time, and we had a picture in there. We had eaten at this restaurant in town that once, for I don't know, somebody had an event there of some kind of family function. Somebody had I don't know what it was. It was a winery in town. We had dinner at. We took a picture in front of the winery, and all the friends that come in there look at the picture. Like, hey, rich people eat that place, don't they? I was like, I guess so. You're probably right, and that's actually accurate because it's not cheap. That's why we only ate there once.
Yeah, I that's why I became a chef, because we didn't dine out. My father was like, he came to America. He was 51 when I was born. He's going to be 89 in April, and it's that whole like American dollar being so valuable. So he would never go to restaurants just because he can make it at home so much cheaper, And I loved restaurants, so that's why I became a chef. And I was a chef for years. I love to cook. That's like my favorite thing. I actually cooked lechon a couple weeks ago, which is my favorite. And tomorrow is adobo.
I'm chefing right now. Oh, adobo! I can't talk to you right now. You see what I'm having? You're gonna have adobo. I'm making this little shake right here. I had adobo when I was at the house this past week. We went up to my folks for Thanksgiving, and my mom had adobo made, and I ate a good solid amount of it. But tonight this is dinner, and I'm having it now.
Yum! I can't do it. I used to, I got to get into it because between right now I have high blood pressure, diabetes, I have heart conditions, I have knee issues, joint issues from being overweight. So I do need to get motivated and start shaving off the pounds, because
I'll tell you, man, this thing my wife turned me on to is definitely it's a cool little jump start, because you actually get to eat during it, which is not like other cleanses I've done. And it really, I mean, it did jumpstart me. I was doing whatever. I was falling off, and it just kicked me back into gear, man. I feel like I'm a brand new person again. It's awesome.
Yeah, I need to do something, because I mean, you and Gomez Python put up videos of running, and I think my limit right now is like I could probably get to 3 houses running. So I want to get it to 3 blocks, to 3 houses. But it's definitely on one of my goals. My kids are so active, and I have ran into the issues where I'm limited.
Kids are. Yeah, I hear you. I was starting to feel that even just myself a little bit, like just like that lethargic. Oh, I don't want to do that, and I was like, oh, that's not good. I need to be doing this stuff.
So, how many species of animals do you have?
Let me see. I can count. I'm sitting. Let's see. There's 1 upstairs, 2 upstairs, 3 over there, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Let's just call it 23.
Holy cow. And now are you planning on breeding most of them, or a lot of them are pets?
I would say more species are pets than not. I'm currently I've produced a clutch of blood pythons. I think she just ovulated. I'm 95% certain that she ovulated, and she's going through a massive pre-lay shed right now. So this will be her second clutch. I've obviously produced ball pythons. I am planning to breed the indigo snakes when the time comes. I'm trying to get a clutch of scrub pythons. And as far as breeding plans go, that's about it for now. I would be interested in doing something else in the future, but currently those are the set plans with the animals we have. A lot of the other animals, I do have a carpet python that's getting close to size, and my buddy Riley might send me a male, and we might do a joint thing with the carpets, with some caramel coastal carpet pythons. And yeah, that's it as far as that goes. Everything else is either a pet or was gotten for the educational show. And yeah, when I was first getting retics, I was thinking I was going to breed them. That was the intention at first, but that changed.
Yeah, what made you change that?
I just started seeing so many of them being rehomed real fast on Facebook and online, like people reaching out to me I remember there was one specific instance, a guy that had been looking for one, and he got one, and he was like trying to get rid of it like literally the same year. And I just felt that I didn't want to contribute to that. And
add to the equation.
Yeah, especially with the big snake, because I was going to breed some of the big ones. It seemed like fun. I mean, it would be fun. I'm still not against the idea of doing it, but it would have to be. It's not going to happen right now. I'm not putting any retics together this year or probably next.
Yeah, I know that they're up there on the list now with like the common animals that are getting surrendered. Like the sulcata is like number one. Is up there, one of the top animals, sulcata tortoise. And I know retics are because they're really cute when you get them. They're small, but then all of a sudden you start seeing how fast they grow, and then people get spooked out, or whether they're not giving them enough time, and because you got to put work into those animals. The blood python, is that the one that Leia was helping pull off of the eggs?
That one, Eli helped pull that clutch. Oh, I don't know if Leia's helped pull a clutch yet or not. I don't. Maybe did she? I don't think so. I don't think Leia's pulled a clutch yet.
Not yet.
That's a little bit. She's a little bit young for it, I think. Just like muscle wise, and just like doing. I don't know if I would want her to do it by herself yet. Maybe next year. I think she'll probably pull her first clutch sometime.
You guys start getting her to do push-ups.
I mean, she's tough, and I don't know. I guess I haven't. I don't know. Maybe she didn't want to. I leave it up to them. I don't tell the kids they have to. You want to. Yeah. So I don't think she has yet. She's definitely fed plenty of snakes. Definitely taken more bites than any of the other kids.
Really? Well, she's going to be the toughest one, man. She's got two big brothers, so that's how Jenny is. Jenny is by far the aggressor when it comes to confrontation in this house. Yeah, I'm talking about you. She came over here to stare me down.
Kids are awesome, man. They're gonna be. I'm not fortunate. I am fortunate, but I'm hopeful for the future because of all the kids I see being raised in this world. Kids like yours, kids like mine, kids like a lot of the kids I see that are the way they're being raised, and it gives me hope for the future.
Oh yeah, I love seeing kids in reptiles. That's like my favorite. I watched that video of you and Brian Gundy going herping today, where you guys found all the rubber boas.
Mm.
And I was just the whole time watching. I was like, man, my kids would have the time of their life doing this. In New York, I've gone tried to go herping up here, and all I get is isopods. So it's just like you guys didn't even mention isopods. I know you definitely saw isopods under all those pieces of wood.
I don't recall. Maybe because I was distracted by the rubber boas. I don't recall isopods underneath any of those boards. Maybe the rubber was ate them all. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, the garter snakes. The garter snakes probably ate all the isopods.
I mean, and then like you guys are like just catching them. Like even the garter snakes, like up here, I try to catch them, and them things are ninjas, man. They're gone. I can't catch them, and it seems like that one scene where Brian had like 5 of them in his hand. He's like, "Yeah, look, this one's got the red gene on the
Dude,
side."
that was the first thing he flipped when we got there. He's like, boom! I had a handful. He had a freaking fence lizard and like a couple of garter snakes and maybe alligator. I don't know. The guy, Brian is one of the most inspirational herpers I've ever herped with. Just because, like, just his gung ho. He doesn't let anything stop me. I've seen the dude just dive headfirst into a bush of poison oak after a common alligator lizard. It's just in his blood. He goes out. I think he goes out almost every day of his life. Maybe takes a day or 2 off to hang out with his wife. But even she'll go out to the places that he herps sometimes just to go out and walk around. So.
Yeah, I've caught a couple of his live streams where he just goes on live while he's going for his walks herping, and I'm like, man, he's a very, 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 like, what's the word to say? When you watch when he talks,
people refer to him as the Bob Smith, not the Bob Smith. Sorry, I'm thinking of MJ's thing.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross. People refer to him as the Bob Ross of reptiles. I've heard of people say that, which is accurate. His voice is he's very good at calming. He's got that real calm. Isn't this just the most beautiful snake you've ever seen?
Yes, it is.
All right, guys. I hope you're having fun. And Brian is one of my favorite people I'm a broken record about this, but Brian is one of my favorite people on this planet that I've ever met. I think maybe in multiple lifetimes. That guy is I don't know. I wish that he lived closer because I just love that guy, man. He's like, he lives close. He lives pretty close compared to you. Like he lives real close, but it's not close enough. Every moment I get to spend that guy is like, it's I don't know how to describe it, man. It's just the best experience to be around Brian Gundy and to go harping with him and be doing what he loves with him and able to enjoy it as much as him, and how much enjoyment he gets from watching somebody else that's herping with him. And it's just, I don't know, man. I highly recommend anybody who gets the chance to, if you pass it up, man, you just screwed yourself. You never pass on a chance to herp with Brian Gundy ever. Even if you don't like snakes.
Yeah, just walking out in the woods and just finding all those animals is definitely incredible.
Yeah, and he knows his spots too. Like when we go out and we hit it's the holy trinity of spots. I've learned it now. I try not to pay too much attention because I honestly I don't want to go without him ever. Like if Brian happens to go before me, I won't go to the spots. I just won't. Those are his spots, and I'll only go there with him.
Yeah.
And that's his 3 spots. Every time we've gone out with him now, we basically, maybe not every time, but every time except for maybe there was maybe this 4th one spot we didn't hit the first. Anyway, it's this holy trinity. There's these 3 spots we hit when we go out, and I just know we're going to go there, and it's always going to be the best time ever, best herping trip. I mean, Australia was awesome with Dave Kaufman, and that was fantastic. But there's something about going to Brian's spots with him, and if you ever make it out this way, we'll go up and we'll see him, and we'll hit the road.
I need to go out to California. I've never, the farthest to the West Coast I've ever been was a business trip to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So I haven't really.
You didn't even get across Texas, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go far, but I went far enough to eat gator nuggets. I love gator nuggets. Speaking about California, do you know what this bridge is right here?
That looks like it's in the area. Isn't that the bridge from? I'm gonna say there's two bridges. There's 2 scenes I'm thinking of right now because a lot of railroad bridges look the same to me. I'm going either Stand By Me, which doesn't sound right, but Lost Boys sounds more right.
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me. Okay.
Do you live by that area?
I don't even know where that is, to be honest. Is that Santa Cruz area?
I
No,
don't.
Santa Cruz. Lost Boys. Lost Boys. Did they film Lost Boys on that bridge too? Did they film multiple movies on that bridge?
I don't. I'm not sure. I just know that it is the stand. I have a friend that moved out to California.
That looks like a bridge that would be in Santa Cruz, just based on the trees in the background. I'm gonna. Well, if you don't, I want to know because I don't. I knew the reference for the movie, but I'm gonna find out where that bridge is just so I know. I guess
My
it's something I should know as a Californian. I guess.
my buddy, he moved out to Cali, and him and another friend started a
Oh,
cannabis
it's up in
farm.
Shasta. It's up in Shasta. Okay.
And he's all about freaking just exploring. Like this guy just explores everywhere. He shows these maps of going on these like 20-mile walks and just these hikes. And someone was like, "Oh, do you live by the Stand By Me bridge?" And he's like, "Actually, I do." And he a week later he showed up there, and that was the picture I stole off his Facebook page.
Nice. Yeah, it's up in Shasta County.
And then, did I hear on the video? I think you and your wife were talking. Did I hear that you guys are shoveling snow?
Though we shoveled snow before, not here at our house.
Oh, I thought you said that you're shoveling snow where you are. I didn't know if you were like in like the mountains in California. I don't.
Which video were you watching? I mean, we do get snow in California, not in the town we live in, but we have shoveled snow in those towns that we were visiting in California while we're staying there. But
Today I was like binge watching.
I noticed because I saw you commenting across a wide spread of videos.
I was like cleaning. We had to feed geckos today, so we were feeding crested cresteds, gargs, and lychees. And then I had a clutch that just shed. Everybody shed. It's my second to last clutch of 2020. So I'm like, I have the table out and the TV just going through. It's great. Your channel, man. I play your channel and it doesn't even go to anybody else's. It just stays on your videos, which was interesting.
What do you mean?
Like if I watch, like even if I watch like Billy or Miguel or anyone, it won't just stay on their channel. When it goes to the next video, sometimes they'll bounce around to different people in the same, reptile community. But yours actually stayed all of your videos.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's why I'm watching it and then I keep my phone close by and I'm like, oh, I gotta hit a comment. I gotta comment before the next one starts. So I kind of bum rushed you with comments today.
Thanks for checking them out, man. They're I put a lot of work into them. They're a lot of fun. I'm glad that people enjoy them because I like making them. I'm gonna keep making them.
My daughter loves your daughter.
I'm gonna live stream my funeral.
You're gonna live stream it. Gonna have like 2,000 viewers. Everybody hit that like button.
No, only 95% of you. Some of you guys hit the dislike. We need like 100 dislikes. Get that algorithm right. Sorry, what you're saying about your daughter?
She's obsessed with your daughter. Ever since that video we watched with you guys feeding the retics, the rabbits.
Oh, the little short one?
Yeah, the short one. She's like, who is that girl? She's so cute.
Dude, the face she made at the end, or at the beginning. I need to find a screenshot of that. Oh man, I feel like I took a screenshot. Never mind. Anyway, it's just when I had to zoom in. I was like, I digitally zoomed in afterwards because whatever she did was just so hilarious, dude.
I had a good video clip of my son on a video. I'll send you the short. I did a building a snake rack, and I was using melamine, and the cuts were definitely not squared off on a few shelves. And when I was building it, I was doing like the bottom shelf, and then I had the walls. And I was like, let me see if I can like kind of persuade it to straighten out, and then have my son screw in the next shelf. And like while we're doing this, I have a camera far away recording, and all of a sudden the screws let go and I smashed myself in the face with both sides of the melamine. And my son's reaction, like he straight up like jaw drop. It was like, are you okay? And It was a very theatrical moment. I mean, I did a lot of like changing speeds and repetition of me smashing my head.
Dude, that's the best thing about making videos and having the kids around, man. Is like I want to be rolling all the time. I don't have the space to do that all the time, but if I did, luckily I've got cameras around that are recording all the time. If I really want to try and pull something, I do have cameras that are pulling footage that I can pull from. But as far as like recording with the quality that I want to put on the channel with this camera and the other camera, yeah, the things that you catch, that's the best thing about doing these videos, man. There's no greater value than being able to capture some of those moments with the kids, man. Just the reactions, because they're gonna be, just to be able to look back on them. We already do sometimes, look back at some of them of Noah, when he was a baby, just saying some things and like going around with a GoPro on his head chasing chickens.
That's awesome. I got a camera that I use for all my videos now. It's the DJI Pocket 2. It's a 4K camera. I don't know where it is right now. It's over there charging, I think.
I've seen a couple of reviews on those.
Oh, it's such an awesome camera. Such an awesome camera. You got it, you have to adjust it kind of like if you're working with like a DSLR, with low light. You have to do some make a lot of adjustments whether you're recording outside or indoors.
Oh, it doesn't have an auto setting, where you can just automatically expose?
I shoot everything in pro mode, so you have to do everything.
Gotcha. Yeah, so do I. So I'm familiar.
But the quality is like incredible.
DJI makes some good gear. I mean, there's been a couple times when I used the just held the drone, because it's got the gimbal on it, just like you would with the handheld thing. It's the DJI camera, and just do that. DJI makes some good stuff, man. When it comes to drones, especially, like I wouldn't buy anything that's not DJI, drone wise.
Yeah, I would love to get one of those Mavericks. The Mavericks are pretty cool.
Yeah, Mavic Pro and the Mavic 2 is the one I have right now. Thank you, Chris Sexton, if he's out there somewhere. And I love filming stuff, man. So it's so much fun. I did some stuff this morning. I'm curious to see how today's footage comes out. That's what I'm gonna do as soon as we're done here, is get that stuff edited a little bit. Again, the camera's just one. I try to record in one clip as much as possible. Like if I've got an idea of what I'm gonna be doing, just because when you upload it or when you bring it into edit, if you like, for example, I'll give people a little example of the work process. This might help some people that are working on videos of their own that edit their videos. If I've got a segment of, I don't know, like all the B-roll shots for all the snakes that I did on a recent video, which some of my favorite B-roll I've shot to date, all one clip. Yeah, I get the snake. I just set the camera off to the side while I'm getting the snake situated, but the camera's still rolling. I don't stop it. I just keep recording, and then just pull it back up, even though it's just sitting there recording nothing for a minute and a half while I'm getting stuff set up. Then when I go upload the clip into the editing software, it's just one clip. I don't have freaking 15 little clips that I have to go and navigate. Oh, is this the one with this one? This is the one with this one? And it's just one clip. I can go in there and just chop it up. And that just is one clip. It's so much simpler. I highly recommend anybody that films and edits, if you're recording anything, as much as you can get a single clip as possible. It makes your workflow so much easier.
Yeah, that's actually the one issue that I'm having with the DJI that I need to just go online and figure it out, because for some reason it only records in 5-minute and 27-second segments. Oh,
that's there's probably a setting. I think I did that on my drone recently. My drone, because the newer drone I got, because before the drone would just record, however much. But there's a setting I think I found recently what you can expand the amount of clips, and that used to be happening when I was recording on my Canon 5D. Before I had the 6Ds, it would only record a certain amount, and there was no setting for that. You had no choice. Like after a 4 or 5 gigabit clip, it would cut it and make it a separate clip, and there's no way to change it.
Yeah, that's the nightmare I'm going through now because if especially that, like I prefer to record more. Like I'll do a 15-minute video, but I'll record 40 minutes of video. It takes more time uploading your files onto the software. Like I use Power Director I use Power Director for all my YouTube videos, and I sometimes it takes me 2-3 hours because you have to pick the file, and then it's going to say, oh, we're going to process it so it's better quality, and then that like its own rendering into the program. Sometimes on a 5-minute video, it can take 12-14 minutes, and then if you're not on top of it, now there's a delay because it stopped, and then now I do everything right from my phone. I have to open up the app again, and I got to switch it over again, and I mean it's a lot of the times I'm spending more time getting the video onto the actual video than actually editing it.
Oh no, I couldn't deal with that, man. I'd have to. I don't think I could edit on the phone. I do a little minor editing in iMovie on the phone for like maybe a special Instagram clip or something, or story or something like that. But man, I've worked so hard to get my process so streamlined as far as just even where the trackpad is when I'm editing. Like I got a separate one so I can sit back and like have it down here and not be up here messing my shoulders up and just like if I had my way, I'd have if I had my ideal setup, let me tell you what it'd be right now. I would have two big monitors up in the corner of the room, just like one up there, like up high, and I'd have this space chair that kept me like anti-gravity, like leaned back all the way like this, like feet up, and then just like the controls right there on my hands, so I could just lean back in some kind of anti-gravity chair and just go to town, man. That's my.
What was that movie with? It was like a programming movie, and it was like a video game competition. And then the guy they came to the guy who talked like the robot, and he's like he pretended he was a robot. It was like a video game designing movie.
Oh yeah. I saw that. The guy that was playing that guy also played in a show that my wife and I watched for a while. We got really into this show called Bones with it was the same guy. The one of the main actors was a guy that also played in I think it was like a devil movie, or not a devil movie, but a vampire movie called Angel or something.
Angel, yeah. And then now he has the SEAL Team 6 movie, TV show.
Okay, so he was in a show called Bones, where it's like a forensic anthropologist was going around solving these like FBI murder cases and whatnot. And anyway, that guy was one of the characters in that. I know what my point is. I know
they're making fun of me. He's like, my name is this. I have a robot penis. That movie.
Yeah, that guy. I don't even know what that movie's called, but that guy cracked me up in that movie for sure.
Yeah, so this is the camera right here.
Ooh, if you want to watch a movie where you may end up with less brain cells at the end of the movie than you started with,
those are my favorites.
Okay, good. Run, Ronnie, Run.
Run, Ronnie, Run.
Run, Ronnie, Run. It's just I literally try like. I try to get people to watch. I've watched that movie more than any other movie. This is one of the more embarrassing things I could reveal about myself, is that I've watched this movie more than, I don't know, say Good Morning Vietnam, which is also one of my favorite movies. And I've just watched it so many times, and it's just, I think because it's so many, like you can pull any like 3-minute segment out of this movie and make it its own thing and just be like, here, but there's obviously a whole storyline. But you can just like pull all these 3-minute segments that are just like, this is the segment. Run, Ronnie, Run, man. I tell everybody I try to tell so many people to watch this movie. And we were even watching it. We went to this dinosaur thing over Thanksgiving. We were up there with my parents, went to this to the county fairgrounds. They had this dinosaur exhibit set up, where there's a drive-through thing where you drive through, and they've got the big, robotic animatronic dinosaurs set up like huge. Like I think the Spinosaurus was like 50 feet tall or something. It was amazing. And just, oh yeah, Grandma's Boy, that was it. And and the line though, they definitely oversold. Like we actually sat in the like waiting lot before we could drive around the dinosaurs they had set up. We sat there for about an hour and 20 minutes in that little waiting lot where they line you up before they let you in. So while we're sitting there, I was like, this is the perfect moment to get my dad to watch Run, Ronnie, Run. And so I pull it up on my phone, and we're sitting there. I put it in the front. I'm not even hardly watch. I can kind of see it over there. I put it in the dash because he's driving. I put it over there so you can sit there and watch it. Kids are in the back, and Hillary's like, isn't this inappropriate for right now? Shouldn't we be watching it? Isn't this true? I was like, is it inappropriate? I was like, shh. I've been trying to get my dad to watch this movie forever. I've got him trapped in the car. He can't go anywhere.
Oh, that's hysterical. Yeah, I think you posted a picture of some sort of dinosaur up close.
Yeah, on Instagram, right?
Yeah, I want to go. You know, that's the one thing about up by me is there's nothing cool like that. I mean, there's wilderness and go-kart tracks.
Yeah, that was up my folks' out. That's about 3.5 hours or so from us. Up the way. Up the way. But yeah, it's a nice thing about California, guys. New York's always got something going on. No, well, maybe not now, but what part of New York?
Downstate, I'm like, so I grew up 15 minutes from Yankee Stadium where everything is. But I live past Albany, New York. So I'm like,
Okay.
I'm 2.5 hours, 3 hours from Manhattan. Where it's more woodsy.
Yeah, I like it. I like it up there, man.
I do too. We haven't decided whether we're gonna leave New York yet, but we want to get like more land. We actually want like a legit farm. So that's our goal.
Yeah, that would be fun. I would like to have some more space too. That'd be great. Florida would be. I could never get Hillary to move to Florida. I'm pretty sure, but man, that would be such a cool spot. Outdoor enclosures.
I know. I see. You know what sells me on Florida is those chameleon enclosures that you see people build with like the massive flower pots, and then they have the plants, and then they just use the screen and make like a cylinder out of it, and they breed chameleons in those. Just
Dude,
that alone is just incredible.
Yeah, we were at Crutchfield's place, and he's got freaking cyclura just running around his yard, and he's got this huge outdoor retic enclosure with this pond and stuff. I'm just like, dude, it's awesome. How cool would it be just to keep your animals in outdoor enclosures? That would be so sweet.
Yeah, you know, it's especially like where we are, everything's limited inside. I do want to get a turtle that can survive outside. So we're looking into getting the Herman's tortoise, because they can hibernate out there, or brumate,
Right.
and they don't get that big. So it's definitely something that would be cool. We're going to plan on doing when maybe next spring we're going to do it where it has its own spot, you know, to protect it from wildlife, of course, and then you know. One animal other than rabbits. We have the rabbits outside, which the rabbits are a lot of work. But we want a farm to actually have chickens. We want ducks because I want homegrown balut. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna go with the candling and all set up. My father, when we get it, he's like, it's fake. I always get him balut, and he's like, oh, it's fake. It's not real. It don't taste the same like it does in the Philippines. But I don't know. The laws in New York are tough because I really do want a retic. Not that I want a bunch. Like I'm very focused on the ball pythons and the New Caledonian geckos.
I'm pretty. There's got to be some kind of like loophole or way to. There's always something you can do. I think it's just how hard are you gonna have to work? What kind of permit are you gonna get? Who are you gonna have to, pay to get the special permit, or what hoops you're gonna have to jump through? I feel like they're out there, especially in this country. There's always some kind of loophole, and other countries too. But there's got to be something, man. I've even heard recently, like, because you're not allowed to have snakes in Hawaii, period. But I've heard there's a loophole, and which seems impossible. If of all the places that it seems impossible, that's the place that seems impossible. But my understanding is there's a way to do it legally. That's with a lot of hoops to jump through. Yeah, but how many hoops are you willing to jump through? How many? That's what it comes down to, I think.
I also want to get away from winter. As much as I love the way snow looks, but I hate cleaning snow. Like yeah. I hate it. Like I even try to make it more fun. I got a nice quad with a plow on it, and then I only use that for big storms because when I use the quad with the plow, then the next day I can't move because my back is killing me.
Mm. Oh, yeah. I know that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like thinking about it now because, like, I mean, it's 39 degrees outside, so we already had we were supposed to get some snow today, and it's just inevitable. Hold on a second. Please, can you tell them to lower the volume? I hear myself. My kids are watching. Actually, guys, can you lower the volume in the bedroom, please? You know, there's like an echo, and it's in the room behind me. I think Mario's watching. Yeah, you know, when I went to Baton Rouge, what happened was I grew up in like a plant house. So my father, like, we have our banana plants, and we have all these plants all over the place. And when I went to Baton Rouge, like, so that was passed on to me. I have the same way in my house. My house, I have tons of plants. When I went to Baton Rouge and I was by the pool, all those plants that I had inside my house were all surrounding the pool. And I was like, man, I need to move somewhere where I can actually have my plants outside all year round. And that's why South Carolina kind of is on my radar. But Texas sounds pretty good too, because I mean, I love my pork, and there's unlimited supply of pork in Texas. But I don't know. I got to do something now, and I think Texas is too far. I think if anything, I may just go farther upstate New York, just for now,
Bacon.
just so we can have that farm. I love bacon and pork belly. Oh yeah, you're in your diet. I'm talking about food again. Well, when I come out to California, I'll cook. I'll cook for you guys.
That would be sweet, man. I'll cook with you. I'm a pretty decent sous chef. I can do some good stir fry. I'm actually a decent cook myself. My wife is like, she wouldn't know because she does most of the cooking around here now. But when I do cook, she's always like, "Are you cooking? Is that happening right now?" But I can do some pretty good cook. I can make a cheesecake.
Nice.
Cheesecake. But I'm definitely good sous chef. If you come out and cook, I will be your sous chef. You tell me to mince those garlics, I will mince those garlics into a fine mesh.
Nice. What's your favorite thing to cook?
A grilled cheese sandwich.
All right.
Like a really good grilled cheese sandwich. Like I'm like, get that perfect golden crisp, and I like to put a little bit of stone ground mustard in there, and thinly sliced apple, so it's so thin it's like almost paper thin, but you put that in there too. And then I'll add all kinds of weird things to grilled cheese sometime, but that's probably one of my favorite things because it doesn't take too long, and it's super enjoyable. And it's one of those things that, like, rarely can somebody else cook it to where, like, I would have cooked it like that. You know, it's like I cook it and I'm like, oh, this is exactly what it's supposed to be like. And somebody else does, it's like, even if it's really good, then I'm like, it's close, but I would have done it just a little different.
That's my issue with my wife, because my wife, she makes grilled cheese with mayo and not butter.
I heard about that, and I've eaten one that was actually, I enjoyed one that was made. Like, I think it was a type of bread as well. There's a place down the road here, about halfway between here and Morro Bay, and it was one of the best grilled cheese sandwiches I ever had in my life. And I asked her, "What did you do?" Like, I went into the kitchen. It wasn't like I walked in. I was like, "What did you do? Like, how did you do this?" And she said, yeah, and she said mayonnaise. And I don't know exactly how, because I tried it afterwards. I was like, okay, mayonnaise. And I was like, no, nope, didn't work.
You gotta lather it right on. I mean, granted, if I don't, you know, it's always nice when you don't have to cook. So I do enjoy my wife's grilled cheeses, but
I may have put butter too. I think that's where I messed up. I think part of my brain was like, how can I not put, it's a grilled cheese sandwich. Like, I have to put butter, right? Yeah, I'm going to put mayo, but we got to put the butter first. I think that's why I messed up.
I never seen it before until I got married. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? She had like the bread, the cheese, and the mayo. I'm like, what is this? But yeah, it fucking works, you know.
So like she doesn't put butter at all, just the mayo?
Just straight mayo.
Okay,
Man.
that's where I messed up. I tried to do it myself because I remember I thought back to that grilled cheese. I was like, oh, the mayonnaise, and I was like, but for the butter first.
Oh yeah, so they fought each other pretty much. 'Cause
Yeah, it didn't work out quite like she did it over there at the other place.
I just did a grilled cheese. I did like a mega grilled cheese. I gotta post the pictures because I have a Chef DMJ Reptiles page as well. And I grabbed like a big loaf of Italian bread, and then I crushed it all the way down. So I made it like flat, saturated in butter, of course. And then I did like all types of cheeses. I put like 3 different types of cheeses in it, mixed cheddar, American.
Oh, dude, we can't do this anymore.
All right, but I'll tell you about the last grilled cheese that I made. That was fucking incredible. You ever see that pumpernickel loaf that's like half a loaf, but the same, like double the price of everybody else's loaf? It's like thin.
I can't say that I have. Maybe I've seen it, but I didn't acknowledge that I saw it.
So there's this pumpernickel loaf that they slice it really thin, and I did a triple decker grilled cheese with it, where I did American cheese between 2 pieces, and then I did Swiss cheese between the other 2 pieces.
God, dude, I'm gonna take my headphones off, bro.
Well, when you're ready to talk food, we'll talk food.
Yeah, you're killing me right now.
We'll go back to reptile talk. So you do educational shows and birthdays.
I have.
Said, right?
I was. Yeah. I need to call Brandon. I got a missed call from Brandon. I hadn't called him back yet because I spaced it. But yeah, no, with everything, most schools out here are shut down. I did some library shows virtually, did some videos for some library shows too. They went well, but nothing like being there in person because like there's nothing, obviously it's not like being there in person, but it was just, we haven't done them. I canceled the liability insurance because there just hasn't been any shows. None of the schools are having shows, or even being there in session in person. So it hasn't been happening since, March or whatever, which is a bummer. But I was just getting into the swing of it, man, just starting to really feel it out and get a little kind of flow to how the show goes. And I'll tell you some of my favorite moments at the shows are like having the person that was in the back of the room or that left the building for the show eventually come up afterwards. I mean, there was a lot of great moments during the show when like kids would come up. Like there was one particular one where a girl came up and she had raised her hand. I think she just raised her hand because everybody else was raising their hand. Yeah. And so I called her up and she came up and when it came time to it, she just broke down into tears. And I was like, oh no! I was like in front of the whole school auditorium. I was like, it's okay. Don't worry. You don't have to, you're right. You came up, but you don't have to, you just stand there and you stand there. I was like, oh, what do I do? It was one of the first ones. So I was like, I just called somebody else up real quick. And she just stood there on the side and cried while the other person came up and was checking it out. But then she was like, saw the person holding the animal next to her and was like, kind of like got herself together, dried her eyes and was like, oh, okay, I think I'm ready. And I was like, oh, sweet. And that was a good moment. But some of my favorite moments were definitely the folks that were, like I said, either standing at the back of the room, didn't want to have anything to do with the show, or literally left the building. And then afterwards, like after the whole show had happened and they heard about it, then they come over and have that moment with them after the show's over and people are leaving and it's pack up time and we're just hanging out and they're getting that experience that they said never in a million years they would have even dreamed that, that they would even consider doing something like that. And because of the fear and misunderstanding. And to watch somebody overcome that and go the other way is always the best, man. I miss it a lot. It's I just heard Brandon made a public post, so I know he's like shutting it down out there because they haven't been able to do any shows. I need to call him. Damn it. Yeah, the guy that started Roaming Reptiles, the program that I've been running out here, he moved it out to Wisconsin and was running it out there. But then with all the shutdowns and stuff, they haven't been able to do the shows like we haven't been able to out here. And last I read, they were shutting it down out there, just like selling animals and stuff.
Oh no.
Yeah, I haven't given up on that part yet. Like I still got the animals here. A couple of them that he gave me, which is like there's no way I can just sell the animals just because we're not doing shows right now because he gave them to me,
Yeah. But you gotta get a bunny. You gotta get a giant rabbit.
That's not very reptile, but and I get giant rabbits often. They're not for show unless I'm doing a feeding video.
And they come frozen.
They come frozen, yeah. They come in pretty stiff. They're not very cuddly.
Yeah, I did a birthday party. My son's best friend, or his parents asked, they were like, any interest in bringing snakes? There's a lot of people I think would love it. And one of my friends is petrified of snakes. I want to see them hold a snake. And it was awesome in the aspect of, at the beginning, only like there was probably like 4 people that wanted to hold snakes, and there was like 50 people here. And by the end of the show, forget it, man. Everyone was holding the snakes, and I brought like a bunch of big, 3,000, 4,000 gram ball pythons, and just the joy of. I think it was what made it so fun was when a parent that wants no part of a snake sees their child holding this large snake, and then all of a sudden they're like popping out their phone, and then that joy you could see that they're really enjoying watching their kids smiling holding this reptile that they would have never had the opportunity to carry because their parents would never allow them to have a snake was definitely cool.
Yeah, it is. It is one of the coolest things, and you'll find that most people you can convince, or not convince, but like show them that they're being ridiculous, for not wanting to. There are going to be a handful of people that are steadfast and are so set in their fear or misunderstanding. There's nothing you're going to do to them. Thinking of one person in particular, family member, but most people you can, if you show them and be like, look, and then they can see and they have common sense and they can be like, oh, obviously there's not actually something to be afraid of, even though some people may have a primal fear, something that's just like they can't explain. It's not necessarily irrational, but actually something that stems way back to when we were on the menu as the little, whatever we started out with as some kind of, what did we start out as I don't know, one of the theories of evolution. We started out this little like, I'm forgetting the mammal. Yeah, some kind of rodent thing. Anyway, I think it stems back to that. It's like, no, that thing's going to eat me. Don't you know? We get eaten by that.
I like to bring the Madagascar hissing roaches to reptile expos,
Mm-hmm.
and then I leave them in a container right up front. And the reaction of people, because you'll get the people where they're like freaking out. They're like, oh, no, no, no. But then they do a lap, and then they come back, and I'm like, oh, you want to hold the roach. And they did,
I like to call up a teacher for that and have them close their eyes because the kids love it. To like have the teacher come up, have them close their eyes and hold their hand out, and then put the roach in their hand. the kids absolutely love it.
Yeah, man. It's definitely it's cool educating people because reptiles, specifically snakes. I mean, almost every religion has it out for the serpents. You know, so it's only natural for people. Look at Adam and Eve. It's tattooed into our brains that snakes are bad and they're slimy and they'll bite you and you can't trust them. And for them to, when people hold them, they go, "Wait a minute, it's not slimy at all." Like even, people expect that it's going to be slimy when you hold the snake when they're not. That's
true. Unless you just hatched out, then it's a little slimy.
Yeah. They you know what? Then pre-shed, they're definitely slimy.
Super slimy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I know that you got a lot of work to do tonight.
I do.
I don't want to keep you going.
I do, but regardless of that, I appreciate you, or regardless, I don't remember which word it is. Brian got me all messed up on it. I appreciate you having me on, man, and it's good talking with you. Good to meet you. Yeah, man, definitely. I look forward. Hopefully, this is a friendship in the making. I think so, man. I think so. I mean, you're cool as shit. You cook good. What about? I don't think it's legal for Filipinos to not appreciate each other just for the fact that we're Filipino. I think that's racist, but it's also true. Yeah, we're half flips, Yeah. And you look just like my nephew. I'm not joking. I was gonna put it up, and I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be weird."
I'm like, but you look just like my nephew, but my nephew's like full Filipino. But
I got a lot of it in Hawaii too. A lot of people thought I went to school with them in Hawaii when I was living out there. A lot of people were like, "Oh no, but I remember you from high school," cause and I was like, "No, you don't."
I get that all the time up here. I think that's a Filipino thing. Like everyone always thinks I'm someone else. I've and I'm like, they're like, I know you. Where do I know you from? I'm like, I have no idea who you are. They're like, I know you. We went to school together. I'm like, I didn't grow up around here. Um, I guess it's just the people love Filipinos, man. We're good people.
Yeah, we're all right.
Crazy,
Yeah, a little bit
definitely crazy.
sometimes.
Jennifer is 100%. The the Filipino blood is stronger. He's wearing glasses, but here's your doppelganger. He kind of looks like you.
Yeah, the nose is going.
Yeah.
And then with the short hair, if I put some glasses on, let the hair get on top, get a little longer, shave the sides, we can make it happen.
Speaking of, before you go, I want to tell you the reason why I can't believe you cut your hair is because I had rock star hair for years, and I actually just cut my hair last summer. Um, so I understand that the relief of when I cut it, because the reason why I cut it was like 100 degrees outside, and I started wearing glasses, and I kept on ripping the hair every time I took my glasses off. So I was getting these like little puffs of hair on the side of my head. And one day I went like this, and I did the curls, like the Hasidic Jewish curls, and they fucking stuck. They like curled back up. And I was like, I'm cutting this hair. So I went home. I told my wife, I'm like, babe, you got to cut my hair. She was so happy. I'm going to post the pictures online because she was like, she put my hair into like little punches, like scrunches because I donated. I was literally just a farm for cancer people with cancer. You know, that's what I was growing the hair for. On top of it, I did like it. I mean, you get that whole rock star feel when it's like in the ponytail and all that.
Yeah, headbanging's not the same now. It's true.
But I shave my head every 2 weeks. I fucking love it. It's a lot better than conditioning and shampooing and fucking brushing out knots and all that shit.
Preaching to the choir, man. I did it. I did it right before winter.
All right, man. Well, thanks again. I really appreciate it. This is awesome, man. And,
Yeah.
and I learned you're half Filipino. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, man. That's yeah. Next time we chat, I mean, you lay in some super hard questions, man. I'll answer everything.
I mean, dude, this is how I do. You know, my live streams, I kind of just like, I feel like we're all personal people in the reptile world, and I just like to talk, man. I mean, I'm at home with my family that I love, but this is my opportunity to socialize on these live streams, and I have the pleasure of doing them every Friday, and very grateful that you came on.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you for having me.
Hopefully, I wasn't so big of a fanboy.
Nah, you're fine. Nah, we were just chilling.
Yeah, man. Well, have a great night. I look forward to your videos. Thank you, everybody that jumped in. This was great.
You guys have a good night.
And I'm sure everyone knows who this gentleman is.
No, don't pay attention. What? No, we're not watching. There's nobody here. Oh, I see you.
That's great, man. We definitely gotta do this again, man. It was so awesome.
And we can.
Yeah, man. And now I have more of a reason to go to California.
There you go. Come out, man. We'll go herping.
Hell yeah, man. That's what I want to do. Definitely. Oh, looks like everyone's leaving us now. All right, man.
Bye, everybody. See you later.
You don't need to do that. Your mic is so damn good, man. And so I've never been so clear talking to someone.
It's a good mic. No doubt about it. Thanks, Mike.
It's a great mic. All right, brother. Thanks a lot.
All right, my friend. You have a good night, okay? Everybody have a great night. Peace,
See you, man. Wow. That was crazy. I still can't believe that I just sat there for an hour and 44 minutes talking to this dude. That was awesome. The reptile community really, has come a long way from when I got in it, and people like Brian definitely make this community such a better place because, just like he said, he's, I don't know Brian. I just messaged him and said I'd love the opportunity to have you as a guest on my show, and he said he'll look at his schedule, and he got back to me, and that was incredible. So I'm grateful for it, and I hope everybody liked it. Every Friday night I do this, and I put out videos every Monday and Thursday. So hopefully all the new people that were in here come join us, and everyone that's here, that's always here, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And you all have a great night. Chad, you the man. We're going to get Chad up in here. I think we're going to do an episode of just, I'll call it rated R, or what is the other one? I forgot what the other bad rating is. We'll get Chad in here, Nick in here. We'll get all the trash talkers.
That's gonna be a fun stream.
Will be.
So.
Definitely. But once again, guys, thanks again. I hope everyone liked it. And next Friday is going to be another big show. You guys may have heard of them. Where is it? Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Next Friday's guest is going to be Tony from Hardwired Exotics. I hope everybody comes in and hangs out with us. I really look forward to talking to Tony because Tony has a very similar situation. He's very similar to how DMJ Reptiles is, and as well as Gomez Pythons, and very family oriented. So I really look forward to that live stream. And I look forward to being in a live stream with Scales of the Crypt tomorrow that multiple people are not invited to. So I just want to throw that out if Nick is still in here. Nick of Nivial Exotics. Or Richie from Richie's Recessives. Or Chad from Richie's Recessives. I'll be thinking of you guys when Dave contacts me tomorrow. But Tony's going to be awesome. Tony is next week. So hopefully everybody comes and hangs out. Thanks again, guys. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.